as the day goes on, more and more people join the huge crowds at this arena circuit at Zwartkops to see the wonderful high-speed racing that we have seen already at the circuit. And it's the start now of the Goodyear Pre-73 International Sports Prototypes, our fifth race on the program, and there are some real beauties amongst this lot, and this is high-speed stuff, Francois.
These are the big boys. I mean, you've got Grant Bell, Michael Campagna out in his McLaren. I mean, that car just blows my mind away. It's got this huge, big 8-litre V8 engine sitting there. It's like a truck engine in the back of the car. It is all engine, but man, does it go.
And is he prepared to foot it too? He's a Dutch driver that really does foot it. He races all over the world.
It goes, and here's the sort of second half, all the Porsches having to start about 20 car lengths behind, just in safety. John Grieve, Sam Hammond, you've got Uli Zanne out in his BMW, Theo de Toy, Dave Ferry, and there's even some funny oak in an orange Porsche as well. And you've got Craig Shorter having to start from the back of the field.
And you will not find that number on any program or any timesheet anywhere on that circuit. Right, there's Uli Zanne, and he's on the Batmobile, the famous Batmobile, and it flies. Look, he's staying with Porsches. I think it's Theo de Toy there. Okay, it's Grant Bell in the little Chevron. It's a 2-litre car against 8 litres. And of course, he's got the advantage around the corner. It's a lightweight car against that big, heavy McLaren with 8 litres, V8, and it's got mega horsepower.
And you've got the two GT40s as well of Keith Gilmore and Oliver Delay right on top of one another over there. Identical cars nearly. They look absolutely brilliant together.
That's Kerry Van Sale in that orange Chevron just went past it. Look at GT4. Everywhere you look, it's 917s. It's GT40s. In fact, there's France Pretorius 917. That's a car he brought over. Was from Aussie.
From Australia, yes, Roger. And look at Mark de Toy and the purple powder puff. Oh dear, I think the puff's being taught a lesson here. Look at that move, just right up the inside.
On the curb.
On the curb, just right through.
One determined Mark de Toy. He can drive in here, must say. Gets out a big Chevrolet Gaines into these cars.
He's driving everything under the sun today.
Right, we've got Nick Whale in the McLaren there. On the inside is France. He enjoys his race. He's been in Austin Healy's. There's at a 956. Some big problems, yeah. Gee whiz.
No, Roger, that looks like he pulled up the handbrake. Something must have gone wrong with the brakes there, because he stood on the brake and the rear wheels locked up. I mean, it's not a nice thing to happen.
It's not the right time to say it, but it is a beautiful looking car, and that red colour actually suits it.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'd be happy to hear us say that, but he clobbered that armco very, very heavy. Yeah. Right, they're the leaders now. It's still Grant Bell in the little giant killer.
And look at those trumpets at the back of that V8 in that McLaren. They actually use miniature rugby balls to close them off when the car's standing in the pits, Roger, so that it doesn't get dirty.
And all the different angles. It looks great. Yeah. And that was a car that we're talking built at the end of the 60s. I mean, and the times they're doing around here, by the way, they're all around the 1:03 mark around the circuit. Well, Mark de Toy is doing well in a little Chevron. He's pressing on there. Didn't get a great start in this race. He's not doing so well. He goes France Pretorius past him.
No, France seems to be getting the hammer down with that car now. I mean, that car's actually got quite a quick motor in it, so it's really going. And Roy Campos has now got another 917 in his mirrors to worry about.
And the big long wing they had behind that was not only to, of course, to put downforce there, it was to stop the wheels spinning in those Porsches. No, they used to just wheel spin every time you put your foot down.
And here we've got David Piper in his 917 as well.
The original. Yeah, and he's come over to look at these other replicas. He said, gee, they make a fine job. And Greaves ahead of Hammond. Here's John Grieve in the magenta car, number 24. Property developer, Sam Hammond. What's Sam do?
Sam's also property developer, John Hughes.
Yeah, they certainly get out and enjoy. David Piper's got problems coming up there. He's slowed down as the two Porsches go past. In fact, almost unnoticed, in fourth spot, we've got Johan Vermeulen. He's brought out a very hot 911. You might see him just now. So we go on, there's the
There's Johan now
through.
in his car. I mean, he also drives that car very well, supercharged car. Quite a handful, but he does keep that car down on the road.
There he's coming down the inside. That's Johan Vermeulen. It's a supercharged Porsche. Got water cooling going. He's got huge fans there just in front of that wing. It's really, I think it looks a bad car to control. We've got a car spun in the background there, Sam Hammond.
No, it's actually Dave Ferry. It's Dave Ferry, current Porsche Challenge champion, who managed to spin off there and then just about set the car alight when he tried to start it, when it backfired with all the fuel still in the exhausts.
Kelly Van Sale was that little Chevron, almost on noses and guns and colours, and that's effective car. Right, we've got a new leader. He's gone to the front. He's now used all the power of that car. As Michael Campagna, he comes from Holland, and he loves to race his cars. He goes to Spa, and he came out for the 9. Just loves racing motor cars all over the world. And little Grant Bell is putting up a great performance, and look quick around the corners. Now he looks to get him on the brakes.
And he's looking for a way to get around that car. Can now go up the inside because he can on the curb.
Now we see the power of the V8. 8 litres of power.
And it just runs away.
It's a nice way to go racing there.
Yeah,
take that, put foot, and off we go. Listen to the sound of those big V8s, they're lovely. But Roger's doing a good job. Here's the third man in the field, that's Roy Campos, and the fourth man's France Pretorius.
And then they're just busy lapping Theo de Troy, and his RSR is here having a ding-dong battle with Uli Zana at the moment in that section of the race.
Yeah, that's the one there now, 38 with Uli Zana. We don't see Theo de Troy much at all.
Yes. Oh, here we go.
Oh dear. They're getting into each other.
Give one another some love, you know. What are we trying to achieve here, gentlemen? Red
flags out for them. Oh, he wasn't able to get past. I don't think he even knew he was into the side of him.
I don't think
Probably
so.
That big heavy car just carried on. Thought it was a little wobble. Right, he won it. Did Michael Compagnie, head of Grand Tourbel, very nice. Roy Campers getting the results all the time. Johan van Meulen came through in fourth in his 911, that supercharged one. Kerry van Sale in the Chevron. And then it was Nick Whale in the McLaren. Well, you two guys put on a great show. Michael, I mean, you're doing well in South Africa. You were here in November, you're back here in February.
I enjoy racing, so even if it's a small circuit, I have fun, and I had a good fight with him there today.
You did, and what happened near the end there, Grant?
No, I just started to develop a bit of a long pedal and saw a gap, put my nose in there on the dirty side of the track, long brake pedal. I gave Michael a bit of a bump, but it wasn't intentional, my humble apologies. But we were not going to beat him.
You're such a gentleman.
No, we're not going to beat him today.
But I must say that the two cars compared to each other, you got over 8 litres of power. There's a tiny little 2 litre, right? So he sort of makes up on the corners, but man, when you put foot, does that car go?
Yeah, there's only one position where I really am fast is, of course, at the quick part and in the back. And there where I make a lot of, I can catch him. But in the small corners, he's coming very close to me, or he's going very far away from me, depending where I'm driving.
Here's the main event of the day, the Castrol South African Tourist Trophy, 45 minutes or 36 laps of it. Was Castrol a sponsor of South African Motorsport since 1929 when Malcolm Campbell came out here to South Africa to do some record breaking. They've been here ever since. 40% of this field, by the way, is from overseas. So this is going to be a hot one. They're just all settling down. They've got this 45 minutes. They've got a pit stop. They've got a compulsory pit stop. So it just adds to all the excitement and interest.
Sarah van der Merwe now out in the Daytona Coupe. It'll be interesting to see how he actually handles this car. He's also driving everything under the sun of this particular race. I mean, he's having fun.
And just showing how good he is.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that they pitched up in time to drive in this race. Actually.
Yes, yeah. He got out in time. They didn't have to find another driver.
And they did a little bit early on. Right, here he comes. Look at that power of that Daytona Coupe as he goes up the hill.
And Peter Bailey goes screaming past the Minshaw Chevron over there as well, as he, has the horsepower, but I don't think it has the nimbleness and the handling of the Chevron. As you said, they were giant killers in their age, and just look out now. That car's hounding Peter, but the minute he puts his foot down, Peter and his son Greg sharing that car in this particular race, you just see how it goes away.
That's been a very successful car, I must say. Dotkin and Whale in the McLaren, Nick Whale, are leading this race at the moment. We're on board with Sarel van der Merwe. He couldn't be on board with a better man. The icon of South African motorsport. There goes Bailey, there goes Minshaw, and there's the car, Sarel car number 8. Look how nicely they identify these cars. I wish other people would take these lessons. The public want to see people and who they are, and they stand out so well. Those are the leaders who have just come through now. Here's Michael Compagnie. What a successful driver. Lotus 23 just behind them as they all line up for the hairpin. Just in front of the control tower. That is Mike Nell. Yeah.
And there we have the father and son Klinko team in their Cobra, also one of the successful Cobras in this country.
A hot one. If
Very
he begins,
hot one.
it probably is.
Here's that man Cavalieri again in the Ferrari. Just look how he's peddling that car around.
And they'll know when he arrives. They can hear it coming, that's for sure. 39 is Pierre van Hellisen. Triumph GT6, that car. You don't see, I think it's the only one in the country.
Not many of them around at all.
Right, here you can hear what a V12 Ferrari sounds like from the inside. All those carburetors are just working away and sucking all the air in the mix-sensor cylinders, isn't there? In fact, the microphone can't handle all the noise for that car.
And right, 35 is Ferdy van Niekerk in the Ferrari over there. He's also one of the Bailey Edwards cars. Wonderful car, that Ferrari V12 motor in it. Beautiful car. And you can see Paolo's coming up to lap him. Now look at, once again, Paolo versus Aston Martin. Can you see this?
He must get tired of that a bit. With Ferdy van Niekerk
seems to be a feeling of deja vu over here. Look at this. Same problem again.
But he gets on with the job, does Paolo. Mind you, that Aston Martin's going well.
No, the Ballard young car, though, also one of the cars that comes out regularly every year to do this race, Roger. And it goes, okay, now
Paolo's
Ferdy van Niekerk logging up there, and Paolo's right there. See it? So that the engine comes on song. It's beautiful.
There's Mike Knight in his Healy. He's one of the organisers of Piper thing. It also helps organise the British Grand Prix, in fact.
It's another shot of the Funikak P4. Clinkered into the pits. I wonder if they've got a problem. It's a bit early for the scheduled pit stops, Roger. I don't know. This race, the guys have to do a pit stop of 3 minutes. It was one of the rules. Within the 45 minutes, you have to do a 3-minute stop.
Right, here we are. This is Nick Wales now in the McLaren. He's leading on his tail. He's got, I take it, Mark Davis at the wheel this time. I can't quite recognise the helmet.
But difficult to see if you don't know them that well. But and these two guys going at it hammer and tongs, Roger. I think one of them is going to win this race. Is going to be the lucky one. Mike Nell in his.
Whoa! No, he's lost it. Gee, was he? Something broke. Wow, he went into the fence there.
I know. You see, he's got out of the car and he's okay. So still got Craig Shorter in his car being lapped by Paolo.
Now you're sitting in a GT40 that you spent a lot of money on. And a V12 Ferrari from the 50s is ahead of you, and out acceleration. Does it? Let's see. No, he doesn't quite. But he certainly is there. You can hear that car coming, that's for sure. The gap past an MG.
V8 doesn't make up too much ground there,
It doesn't. I mean, we're talking about a car from the 50s. This already started the GTOs going. The 250. Look at that. He passes him on the way. And he does brake late. I mean, Paolo's in and out of corners very, very quickly indeed. That's for sure. Look at this going up the hill. It's a GT40, got it. Now that closes the door there. There's the Mark 9 car. He's coming for stop. Left back tyre's gone down. Now that's a pity for him. He loves to drive the car too. And the Baileys, now it's Greg Bailey, the son, sharing with his father. They all make these cars. Right, here we've got a leader, and the new leader now is in the Lola T7. Of course, they look beautiful when they're closed-in cars, but they look nice as a Spider.
Spider as well. Wonderful. And of course, we've got the toy Wharton Hood Cobra with Peter Wharton Hood behind the wheel at this point in time. Still learning to drive that car. I can see locking up the wheel a little bit, but having a great amount of fun. I spoke to Peter during the course of the weekend, and he really enjoyed driving that car and being out in it. And that man Cavalieri is still going like a bow.
And of course, Wharton Hood, financial director of Standard Bank. I think the bankers are out to enjoy himself. Right, there's the little Lenham. That's Eddie Perk, and it's really putting up a good performance. You say, I think about 6 of them made altogether. He's got the Toyota engine, so you can see what a lightweight car with a reasonably small engine can do, but corrects all this mighty stuff.
We've got Sorrel passing the Aston Martin, and just showing what the Toyota can actually do. Oh, it's just a wonderful sound. And
Chris Clark comes in on the Morgan. That's a little 1600cc. That used to be his Formula Ford engine. It really does go well. Highly tuned motor. I think Jan could see those motor. Right, the Baileys go out again onto the circuit. There's the leader. At the moment, it's not going to be at the moment. They're going to be hard pressed to try and catch that Lola T7. That's Spider.
No, I think they're going to take it their time. It's still Paolo listening to the engine scream as he comes through.
He does work it over, I got to say.
No, the engine is used, Roger. He works the car, he drives the car. But it is, as I said, it's a well-prepared motor car. It has everything. It's actually got a modern carbon clutch in it and things like that. So it can actually handle a lot of motor racing. It's built to do that. Craig
Shorter's on Paolo's tail. He's in the GT40. There's the McLaren. And this is how Bruce McLaren, the New Zealander, started it all in this sort of motor car. Lotus 23. It's Alan Bailey there. He's a single-seater driver of note. Seldom loses out in a single-seater. Tiny wee fella. Long history. Problems there with the Chevron. That's a great pity. The B8 Chevron, the Minshaw car. Here's one of the original McLarens, number 55. And that's the Wilson Duncan motor car.
And yeah, we've got another shot of David Piper in the Ferrari that he was driving in the race, Roger. I mean, it's great to see him out here and still competing in the car.
Now that other car, that Boswell, he's just in that little packer. Well, he's in a Coston. That was Frank Coston actually designed the V8 engine. Paolo's out of it. Yeah.
That doesn't sound too
Sounds
promising.
Expensive. Well, if you park in front of the 50-meter board, we'll have a few guys.
One missing their brake marker.
Absolutely, they're waiting for 50.
Okay. Oh, and yeah, we've got from the Maverick, the toy car, having it out with Craig Shorter.
Does Craig Shorter know who he's taking on?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Craig, and he's sort of squeezing him to the outside as well.
As the Lola comes up to lap them, there's only 2 cars, in fact, on the same lap in this race. It's is the McLaren and that Lola we just see past them. But boy,
they're having a ding-dong battle for the whole race, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, we've got them coming up behind Nick Parrott as well. Sorrel being quite a gentleman, just sitting behind Nick over here and going out as he starts putting on the power. Just look how this car punts itself up the hill.
Big time. There's Michael Compagnie. I don't know who's getting into that car. The only one we caught sight of is the man who got out of it. There's the Nick Parrott MG. And 54, the Ballard Young car. John Young is driving with Chris Ballard. And David Piper David's in his 70s. He does a fantastic job. Still does good times around a race circuit. Brings all these cars to South Africa. And of course, lost his leg at Le Mans, actually making the full call Le Mans. The leader goes out.
And there we've got Jules Swanepoel waving a finger at him for some reason, the assistant clerk of the course.
So slow down.
Claren going out, also warning him, be careful in pit lane. Be careful as you go out.
No, must be one in
you've
the
got the
circuit.
Toy siblings. There's Jonathan. Oh dear.
He's just got into the motor
The car.
and he saw his brother ahead of him. He probably thought, I'm going to get him right.
Yeah, I'm going to show my butter I can actually
Doesn't
drive,
have-
you know. Yeah, and then
Maybe the tyres weren't warm enough. I don't know if that happens in this. They didn't change wheels.
no, these are road-based tyres, Roger. For this particular race, you actually had to drive on treaded race tyres. They were not allowed to use slicks. They had to use the tyres out, you know, from the aero. And you can see as
That's a replay of what happened. He saw his brother in number 10 ahead of him. Mark was ahead of him. He just thought, I'm going to get him now. He's the elder brother, by the way, Jonathan.
Correct.
So he's going to show Mark what it's all about.
manages to use the
There's a
car.
wee Lenham coming the road with Eddie Perk. Looks very nice little car. They didn't go and make him more and more of
More
his
of
car.
it. It really is a good-looking motor car. But those Aston Martins, to me, are also beautiful, Roger.
Beautiful.
I mean, they just go.
You
and
never
they
think
handle
of them actually as a racing car.
No,
do
you don't. You don't really see many. Now they race in the modern cars, but you know, you didn't see many Astons racing, and now to see them, you know, is actually something that's great.
Right, there's that's Mark in that car there going up the hill. He's got away from his brother. Let's see if he can catch him up.
And Longden in his Lotus as well, the number 5 car. Wonderful to see that.
Lovely. That really started the fiberglass bodies going. As I understand that Lotus and it sounds lovely. Yeah, they're just idols.
And just look how that dart stays
Yeah.
with the Lola through them. I mean, those darts also one of South Africa's great success stories.
They run overseas. Bob van Niekerk, Willie Meissner, and Versteer de Wit, who designed the car. It was fantastic what they've done with those cars. But there's Chris Clark giving into the Lotus 23. How's that for a low little motor car? I mean, he's sitting right on the floor.
I mean, they look nearly Mickey Mouse, but they're wonderful little race cars, Roger. They really go. And John O'Detoy actually keeping the hammer down there. Micah Altona in the Dodge. Just see him in the Lotus having a really, really interesting race.
And that dart doesn't lean over at all. It just stays
Sits
flat
there
in the
and it goes.
The Bailey family have arrived just ahead of Craig Short. Not quite the spec of the Bailey car, but I'm sure that's going to be corrected. Chris Clark comes through. There's the second man in the field. Ooh, looking like it's overheating a wee bit. We're getting towards the end of this race.
Actually hanging the flag showing 1 lap to go. You can see him holding up the board that he starts telling all competitors he's about to wave his flag on the next lap. And Martin Davis car on its way, Roger.
Campagna is 10th overall. Very good performance on these sort of sports cars. There's the Lemon with Eddie Burke. Looks nice, eh? Can't fault that little motor car. It's run like a train here all day.
It's amazing to see in the high-felt heat, no problems. You've got very few problems with the cars. Peter Bailey coming, Peter O'Gree, I'm not sure he's driving the car at the moment, trying to get through the inside there. But look how the Aston Martin actually keeps that GT40 at bay. Keeps, and the crowd, I mean, you can see the people just enjoying it. Maybe that's a bit dangerous having all these people on the pit wall, Roger, I must be honest. But
well, it adds to Zwartkops as the winner comes through. The Castrol South African TT won there by the Martin. These are the guys from Belgium, and Mark Davis in the Lola T70. Second position was the Dodkins Whale car. That's the McLaren M1B. Class A to the Belgians, Martin and Davis. Class B and third overall to Sarel van der Merwe and Jonathan du Toit. Class C to Boswell and Coston. And Class D to Martin Brewer in the DB4 Aston Martin. Well done, men, on winning the Castrol South African Tourist Show. There's a nice feather in your cap too, but that car of yours ran like a train.
Yeah, the car was perfect, and we did a quite good start, a little bit carefully, and after 2-3 laps I could take the lead, and then I tried to do a small gap, so we can keep the gap until the end.
It just all ran smoothly, Mark.
Yeah, it ran smoothly, no worries. I almost had, you know, the lap before last, the car understeers on the hairpin, and I almost went out. And then I said, take it easy.
And from England, Richard Dodkins and Nick Whale, of course, came second. It's going to be a great fill-up for them. And Sarel van der Merwe, Jonathan du Toit, third in the Cobra. And Peter, for the 7th time, you've got the legends out here. And it's just a fantastic day, enjoyed by everybody.
I think in the week that leads up to something like this, you have grave doubts. You don't ever want to do it again. And then when the day turns out like this, you start planning next year. So we're already planning next year with the internationals. But it is just so wonderful to see the actual Lola that Duke Dibley used to race in England, 1965, winning here again today. And to have the McLaren that Bruce Bruce McLaren built, a very, very close second. And then Cyril in the Daytona Coupe, which is not a, it's not at the caliber of those sports racing cars, finishing third overall with Jonathan DeToy.
It's also stressful from your point of view, having two boys racing and racing up the front. It's not as if they're just cruising around.
Yeah, look, I've got a lot of confidence in them. My biggest problem is keeping the cars together. We, Trans-Africa Racing, entered 20 cars. And I think by tonight we probably, I don't want to talk too loud yet, but probably only have about 11 going. You know, so there's a dead car park at the back here. No, it's actually stressful. Yeah, Cyril driving one of your cars, it's got to be right. Cyril won't come again, you know. So, and that is just making sure the cars are right and they're held together. It's keeping the fields together. It's also stress is motivating the international guys just to keep going. Absolutely. And to fix their cars when they break.
And this is the last race on our program. We're going to see more action from the pre-66 Legend Saloons. Cyril van der Merwe, last look at him, he got his prop shop fixed at a local spare shop, and he's right in there with the Galaxy. 35 cars at 8 laps the circuit is packed.
They look like wallowing whales when they actually go over the curb, Roger. It's amazing to see these cars racing. And I think what Mark said earlier, two of them together on any circuit is going to be very difficult for somebody to pass. So Pedro Pasciuto just behind them there's actually got his work cut out to stay with him at this point.
I don't think he's raced against people like this before. Anyway, Brian Rowlings, this could be his first win in the afternoon in that Mustang. Very nicely turned out Mustang, the ex-Basil van Rooyen style of Mustang. Great histories these Mustangs had in South Africa. Cyril just throws that Galaxy sideways. I love the big leaf swings at the back of that car.
If you compare it to some of the more technologically advanced race cars of today, it really does look okay.
We've got a new leader. Cyril van der Merwe's got to the front, gets that buffer now between Rowlings. He's going to hang on to him. This is what 7 litres of V8 power. Fords 1 and 2, Chevy in third position. Also a big engine. Boy, that excites the people. Exhaust comes out the side of that motor car, and boy, when it comes past you, it's a big motor car.
About the only thing that's missing on those big cars, Roger, is the ball on the steering wheel, you know, for the drivers and hubcaps, yeah.
And spinning hubcaps would be nice. And Cyril loves it. I mean, listen, these cars, they might be big and heavy, but they don't wallow. Boy, they are set up to go racing. And of course, NASCAR racing was all about that. Cyril van der Merwe sideways coming out of the top of the circuit. Then it is Mark DeToy, got himself into second. Brian Rowlings is next. Then we've got Pedro Pasciuto, or Rob Berry's renaming that. That Falcon is a very smart car. It's staying there right with him.
I tell you something, it's a nice car, Roger. Really is a nice car. And then Alan Poulter just behind them in the Volvo. And it just shows you how nicely set up that car of his. I mean, a 2-litre B20 Volvo. It actually just shows you what it can do.
Of course, he's the uncle. Alan is the uncle of Leroy Poulter, won the production car championship. Peter de Klerk there in the big stud, enjoying himself thoroughly in throwing that car out. It's got legs on it, there's no doubt about it. Maybe not great in the brakes department, but it certainly goes. 211, that's Carl Estes we're talking about. His dad used to run the Alpha plant out at Brits when they built Alphas out here. There's the little Imp, and here's the little A35. I mean, that car could fit in the boot of this Galaxy.
Yeah, I think you could fit two of them together, Roger. Yeah, maybe it'll go as quick, but like link them together and join the two engines together. I don't know.
Look, Anglias, I mean, they come from the 50s, early 60s. There's
Barner, from Zimbabwe, and his angle box. I tell you, they're absolutely everywhere.
Colin Ellison in the little junior. Peter de Klerk has spun it there. Is he going to get a start? Here comes Saul. Is he in his way? He is in his way. He's going to go over the curb. Saul is on the march. In the front, clear roads ahead of him. Some of the traffic there as he sort of gets it lined up for the corner and settles himself down to get the brakes on. Throws out the anchors and boy, he gets around that corner.
You can just look at the body language of Mark DeToy as he hangs onto that steering wheel as he turns the car. Totally different experience to driving a modern race car, Roger. I'm pretty sure it is.
No, it is. They both kick the back tail out, you know. They kick the tails, they're going to the... Here's two. Now, Peter's given it up. Now, Peter de Klerk was one of our fastest drivers we ever had overseas. Drove Porsches as well. There's a pack of Alphas just behind the Brian Rowlings car, number 148. The red car is Clinton Parsons, and ahead of him is got Peachy.
Brett Peachy in the car. I mean, those two Alphas are very evenly matched. They're having a nice battle.
Not much of this race actually to go, so we'll see who turns out first in this one. Mikhail Opry, he's in that Shelby Mustang. His number in the race is 25. In fact, it's got 16 on the door, which more or less figures with historic races.
Listen, you've just got to be able to add your numbers, Roger, then you know. Well, look at this. DeToy trying to...
I think he's hoping that Cyril's going to make a mistake. That Chevy's in good nick, that Biscayne.
That car goes, Roger.
Right, 1 lap to go. That's all it is. Henny de Beers giving that 1 lap ball. He gives a very good service at the side of the track. I must say, showing them exactly where they are. And then he gives him a good welcome home there with a checkered
No,
flag.
Henny's excellent at his job. Got the Cortina in the way there. I think Cortina move out of the way before you get taken out of the way would be the right way to handle that particular thing. Rowling's Mustang, just that car is also one of the neatest cars in South African historic racing. It's absolutely brilliant.
He drives it very well.
Drives it well. Always looks nice.
Let's see if he's got an answer to Saul now. Saul's quick out of here. Goes wide, does Mark. In between us, there's the Streamer Cabrita comes through. Oh, someone's having a moment.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Mr. Peachy's made a bit of a lemon of himself there, Roger. I don't know
He's
what
got it
happened.
all front end. Just out of the blue, just lost it there. And he just went across the track. Okay, here they come down to the flag. Now it's going to be Saul. Mark and his toes going to make any mistakes. Not our Saul. Mark has done a great job in that Biscayne today. Gave it a win. Got a second. Gets the flag. And the two of them come home 1 and 2. Saul van der Merwe, Mark du Toit, then Brown riding third in the Mustang. And then we've got Frank Copping. He wins Class Y in the little Renault, the little blue Dauphine. Class Z went to Sean Cabrita and Streep in Class W, Rob Wilson Alpha. And Class V, Anthony Theobald in the Alpha Junior. So, Saul, you can see just by the reaction they've all come to see you and these big V8s.
I think it's a wonderful stuff,
Is it?
you know, especially this class with the really old stuff and the heavy stuff, and it's just so nice to be in one of them.
That's lovely. And the youngsters are starting to close up a wee bit. Are you learning from Saul there, Mark?
Well, I was certainly chasing him down there towards the end. I was hoping your brakes would go off a bit more, but I don't know.
Well, just as I said to Saul, I mean, just see the reaction of people is what they really come to see. It's nice to be in a car like that.
Oh, it's lovely. And I mean, to drive around on a warm-down lap where everyone's waving and cheering, it's just, it's fantastic.
Well, I hope you enjoyed all that. It was brought to us by Castrol, by Car Magazine, and also by Goodyear. Love to have him on board. And next week on Rapid Motion Africa, Trans Am Saloons, historic touring cars. We're also going to have some Shelby Can-Am racing from Durban.
You get